forests! Save our future! Save our 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 forests!
The Noye's Fludde project is a collaboration between Mid Wales Opera and the Size of Wales. And what we want to do is to work with 2,000 children across Wales and introduce them to their first experience of opera.
Going into different schools, inevitably you've got different backgrounds, different experiences, different amounts of wanting to do it in the first place. And one thing we'll both try and do, and Claire is particularly good at, I think, is actually taking those children, taking those adults as well, and actually moulding them and making them something that they may not even have thought they could possibly be. Within 7 days is the whole residency, but obviously we don't see them all for 7 days, so it might be within 3 days, and that's just marvellous.
And we're going to start off by moving around just on tiptoe. Not touch anybody. Okay. And go!
What makes this project very special is that it's taking one of the great operas in the English repertoire, but making it relevant to a whole new generation of children.
Most operas, most great operas, have taken a story which is universal. It's got a lot of myth about it. It's incredibly important. And the story of Noah building his ark is extremely famous, but also has so many layers. And when I think of the great things about Claire Williams' fabulous production she's done for us in this, is that it's gone absolutely to the jugular of what's one of the issues of today, which is looking after this planet and perhaps preventing future floods and thinking what we can do. And you get the naysayers and you get those that want to, like Noah, who's passionate, and the protesters. It's a brilliant spectacle built on and absolutely being faithful to what Benjamin Britten wanted. And thinking about the planet, thinking about important things in life, need metaphor. They need music, they need pictures, they need film, they need the arts to help them. That's where the arts really does have something to say. And I think it's a very, very strong message that comes out of Noah's Flood for thinking about it.
Playing Noah is a really interesting thing to have to do because it's so different from what you usually think of when it comes to Noah. You know, I don't have a big white beard, I'm not wearing a robe, so to be coming on stage as this sort of angry green activist and stare at the audience and then have to sing the Noah story but do it with a slightly different twist has been really, really interesting.
Noah knows that what he's got to do is he's got to save the planet for the next generation.
This morning I've learnt loads about global warming. It's been really enjoyable, and I've learnt not to cut the trees down, oxygen to live, and about flooding. I've learnt absolutely loads.
You are the people who know that deforestation is going to have a terrible effect.
So what we're doing is we're working with different sections of the communities that we move into. We're working with probably between about 6 and 10 primary schools who play the chorus of animals. We work with youth theatres and secondary schools to play the chorus of gossips, who are Mrs. Noah's friends, plus the protesters, who are Noah's followers, his acolytes, his disciples. Then we work with youth dance companies in the area who create the chorus of the sea, Become the Storm.
The school got involved in the project because we think it's really important for the children to be involved with outside agencies and to work with people with all different expertise. We thought that the creative development side of things would be fantastic for the children. And to see their development over the course of the morning and to see how they've really come into their own and they're moving throughout the space and they're singing loudly and they're really engaged and they're really involved. It's just been a fantastic morning, really.
We're also sending artists to work in the communities where children are thinking about climate change and the effect that it has. So we're actually building a forest. Each region we go to, the children make a couple of trees, and on the leaves they write down their wishes for the future of the world.
Save our future! Save our forest! Save our future! Save our forest!
One of the things that really showed the spirit of the project were the campaigners outside. When I walked into the theatre and they were all shouting, "Save our forests! Save our forests!" And to me that was really amazing that they cared so much that they wanted to engage the audience before they even entered the auditorium. And it was fantastic to see that campaigning element to the show and to see their passion.
We started out protesting outside and handing out leaflets and shouting chants and, still basically standing outside the theatre because we were trying to get our message across. And it was really good fun. I got to play a character that I'd never played before. I got to raise awareness of it, and being Welsh and having the link that deforestation is actually the size of Wales or twice the size of Wales, you know, that really hits home for me because I know how big Wales is and I know how important Wales is as well.
The role of being a gossip is being friends with Mrs. Noye. We are cheeky women, we like to drink and we're partying all the time and we're a bad influence on her. So she goes from good to evil, really. I'm nothing like the character. It's like good to be like someone different for one day.
Some of the kids we're working with have never even heard the word opera, let alone been in one. And it's an amazing experience really, because I'm lucky I've worked with kids groups a lot all the way through my career, and it's something I really enjoy doing. But what's special about this is that we're working with kids and young people of all ages. We've got the tiny, tiny little ones running around being mice, and we've got the slightly older ones playing the sons and wives, and then we've got the older ones again playing the gossips, and they all bring this amazing kind of energy to the show. And then there are moments like when the little kids turn their torches on, representing the stars. My eyes fill up with tears every time because it's just so special.
The discipline of working together and of doing it together and achieving something that again goes in right up front, as it does for this Nurse Flood, to the audience, that's going to be with them for the rest of their lives. And the discipline that music gives you, developing your mind, developing your emotional side, and your teamwork and working with colleagues and so forth, is wonderful. Add that then to what you're learning about what the role tells you about religious matters, environmental matters, emotional matters, all those sort of things. That's all in there. So it's a big, big, potent package.
These kids can actually go away and say, we have been in an opera. And they have. We're not simplifying it in any way. We're not cutting bits out of it. We're not doing it anything other than what is on the score. And I think that's really special, to say we value these young people, but we also value this art form enough that we're going to be authentic about how we treat both.
Being in a production with such high quality really steps you up. You think, oh gosh, can I do this? But you get into it and you think, go for it. You only live once.
Taking part in it's been amazing. It's just sort of having an inside look on how professional singing and acting can be.
When I heard of the opportunity, I jumped to it because I knew that it was a head forward and it was a step forward to what I want to be when I'm older. Being in opera, it's just really surreal and you wouldn't do it again in your life, really.
Well, it's such a great experience, a really new experience, and just having the time of my life, really.
Best bit was getting to play percussion in the Gwyn Hall and getting to play with everyone.
When I first finished the Brecon Opera, I was really, really happy when I got that first applause because it had never really happened to me before, and it was a really good feeling.
I felt very proud to be part of the production of Noye's Flood because we all worked so hard on it. It all just added up to one amazing feeling of excitement.
I particularly enjoyed the performance. I thought it was a wonderful experience to be sat in the audience seeing community groups taking part, be it singing, be it participating in the orchestra. I thought it was a very moving experience.
Noye's Flood has been important to Size of Wales because it takes a really key story that everybody's heard of but really builds in that environmental message, and the number of children that have been involved in the production and are now aware of that environmental concern is fantastic. To see them on stage performing and to be really passionate about the issues was really fantastic.
None of the kids who were involved are going to forget why they were doing this and what the real message behind it was. And hopefully the audience will be the same, just to say all of the important stuff about how important the environment is and how we need to be looking after it.
Global warming is really important and I've learned not to cut the trees down. Bad idea.
For the children taking part in Noye's Flood, it takes acting, it takes singing, it takes dancing, it takes theatre, it takes drama. It is everything there in opera. And I think for the children to be in this and then go on, a few might even go and have operatic careers or play in an orchestra or go into a dance group or whatever. So this is part of Mid Wales's opera's remit, and let's hope that that gets some opera goers and opera performers of the future.
Absolutely great. Brilliant.
But it was wonderful, really wonderful. The children were beautiful. It was really very good.
Wonderful. Marvellous experience.
Really enjoyed it.
Oh, excellent, excellent.
It's been brilliant. It was lovely to see all the children from school with my son there, so really had a fabulous time.